A great week of football has just ended. The week is over. Let's talk some football. Now, a lot of informations have been going around in the world of sports. I think it's time we sit in and dissect them and ask ourselves, is this a move going forward that would benefit a club or not? Now, we start off with Liverpool. Liverpool, as we know, Johan Klopp will be leaving come the end of the season, and they have signed a new club in Arne Slot, who I will not lie, I'm not very optimistic about his chances when it comes to coming to Liverpool and winning trophies, but I'm not going to count him out. Although my prediction about Erik ten Hag has not been wrong. This guy is also coming from the Eredivisie. I do not trust Eredivisie coaches, but then let's look at his stats together. Let's see if we can piece this together and feel maybe, just maybe, he could be the man for the job. Now let's look at him last season. At the Eredivisie, he managed 34 games, 125, drew 7, lost 2. Not bad. They didn't make it to the Champions League that season. They went to the Europa. They ended up having 10 matches played in the Europa. He won 4, drew 3, lost 3. I wouldn't say it's bad. But, well, let's still continue. In the coming season, which was 2023-24 season, which we are currently, he has managed 33 games, 125, drawn 6, lost 2. In the Champions League, of which they did participate, he managed 2 games, he drew the 2. Sorry, that was in Europe and not in Champions. In Champions League, he played 6 games, won 2, draw none, lost 4. Meaning that this guy does not have Champions League criteria. A function that Liverpool would actually need. They went on to the Europa, had 2 games, won none of them, drew both of them, lost none of them. Not like he's having a bad season. In total, he has managed 42 games, won 32, drawn 8, and had 7 losses. Do I think that this guy is a good fit for the job? Knowing what he did with Feyenoord, knowing how badly they were, few seasons where Ajax was constantly dominating, before Feyenoord went on to dominate the league as well, it's fair to say that Liverpool right now are banking on a gamble. To me, this is a gamble because this guy does not have a track record of winning anything big other than the Eredivisie, which I will not lie is not as competitive as the Premier League. An issue I had with Erik ten Hag when I said, not that he's not a good coach, but the standard of both leagues are very, very different. It is not that I don't believe in this man's ideas. It's not like I do not believe that this man can do great things. But I'm not sure he's the man for the job. Although Liverpool fans, you're patient people, so maybe you will give him time. But I don't think Liverpool would have gone for him. Maybe the coach of Sporting would have been a better option. Or maybe even De Zerbi, because De Zerbi has been in the league, he understands. But then Liverpool has chosen, and let's see whether choosing Slot was a good idea or not. Moving on to the second important topic on the line is Manchester United. And what happened yesterday, which I will not lie, was a bit disgraceful. In Manchester, while there was a heavy downpour of rain, the roofs were leaking. It was crazy to see that Manchester, the biggest club in England as far as I'm concerned, is at a state whereby even your stadium is poorly managed. Your stadium is poorly managed. Ronaldo spoke about how the training ground was not well managed and stuff like that. Now we looked at the stadium. It was even worse. Like, the heavy downpour was so bad. The leakages were so strong. Please, what had the Glazers been doing? What had the Glazers been doing all this while they were at the helms of affairs? To have that kind of thing in a stadium like Old Trafford is a disgrace. It is a slap in the face to not just Man United as a club, but to his fans. You can imagine when you come in to watch a game and you're having the stadium leaking that badly, and you are seated within that seat row. It will not look funny, but that was the case with Manchester United, and it was sad. Well, they've got a new ownership. I feel that should be addressed really quickly. That should be fixed. We shouldn't be having such issues in the stadium. But then moving into Man United's match against Arsenal yesterday, it wasn't the best of matches as far as Man United were concerned. They didn't do too badly though. They did not do too badly. Came out, did their best. They attacked as they would. I didn't even expect them to attack so much, but they came out, they played their best game. Although they came up against the better side. The fact was this: even Man United fans would agree that there was no way you would beat Arsenal. There was no way in the world, man, you would beat Arsenal. No way. Yes, they came on firing on all cylinders. I was particularly impressed with how well Man United attacked in that game. Amad Diallo, with the kind of performance he threw up yesterday, I feel that Man United should be giving the young man a start. He was quite impressive yesterday. It was fair to say that they did give a good performance, although they lost the game, but against a better side. So, bad as he bad, Man United can hold that in solace. But then we move on to the Ballon d'Or. And it's fair to ask this question at this point in time. Why is Vinicius Jr. not being considered for the Ballon d'Or? It is fair to ask this question at this point in time. Why is Vinicius Jr. not being considered for the Ballon d'Or? Now, I know people will say, oh, Bellingham has had a great season. Mbappe has had a great season. We'll look into all their stats. But first, before I look into the Mbappe Kane stats, now we know that the three top contenders, Harry Kane, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, is still baffling to me because the second half of this season, Bellingham has not been impressive at all. First half of the season, he was really incredible, but now he has dwindled a lot. A lot. Now, let's look at Vinicius' stats this season compared to Jude Bellingham. Starting off with Jude Bellingham, this season Jude Bellingham has played 26 games in La Liga, 18 goals, 4 assists. In the Champions League, he has played 10 matches, 4 goals, 4 assists. That has been Jude Bellingham's stats. It's not bad. It's not bad. Now we move on to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. has played in the league, has also played 24 matches and has scored 13 goals, not far behind Jude Bellingham. At all, he has given 5 assists, 1 more than Jude Bellingham. For the winger, who, if you ask me, has been in prolific form. Going into the Champions League, he has played 9 matches and scored 5 goals. Now, funny enough, Jude Bellingham has played 1 more match than Vinicius Jr. But Vinicius Jr. has played 9 matches and scored... he has played 9 matches and scored 5 goals, while Jude Bellingham has played 10 matches and scored 4 goals. How is Jude Bellingham in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or, and Vinicius Jr., who is not just giving goals, but also has 4 assists in that same Champions League, putting up the numbers, is not in contention for the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or? I do not understand it. I'm not saying that Jude Bellingham has not given an impressive season, but it is fair to ask at this point in time, shouldn't Vinicius Jr. be at the top in this conversation? How is Jude Bellingham there? Vinicius Jr. is in there. When we know that as it stands, Vinicius Jr. for the past few months has been Madrid's best player by a large margin. He and Rodrigo has been incredible. Toni Kroos also. But then the big conversation is, oh, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham, I have no issue against you. I feel you're an amazing player, but I don't feel that he has done as much as Vinicius Jr. My opinion entirely. I don't expect anybody to agree with me, but I do not think that at this point in time, Jude Bellingham should be rated higher than Vinicius Jr. My opinion. But then we move on to the other candidates for the Ballon d'Or, Mbappe and Harry Kane. This season in the Champions League, he's played 12 games, scored 8 goals, had 4 assists. I think he's done really well for himself. In the Bundesliga, 32 games, 36 goals, 8 assists, 1 match in the DFL Pokal, no goal. Harry Kane has had an impressive season. Should he be in the Ballon d'Or contention? I feel he should, because he puts in the numbers, still gives the assists, and he's one of their most creative players on the pitch. If there's one thing that Bayern has lacked going forward, is creativity. The likes of Leroy Sané has not been creative. The likes of Musiala has not been consistent. The likes of Serge Gnabry has gone back and forth into injury. Thomas Müller is no more in contention anymore. Joshua Kimmich is okay, but not at his best. Goretzka, I think it was towards the end of the season, Goretzka began to pick up. He had been struggling before then. It's not been a team that has brought so much creativity. But Harry Kane, on the other hand, has been consistent in terms of giving goals and being creative. Yes, they lost to Madrid. Respect to Madrid on being the better side in that game, although there was still controversy. But then you have to look at the fact that when it comes to giving goals and being creative, Harry Kane does both. Should he be there for the Ballon d'Or contention? 100%. 100%. But then we look at Kylian Mbappe, the man, the myth, the legend. Right now, he has played 29 matches in League One, 27 goals, 7 assists, In the Champions League, I think he's still the highest goal scorer. 12 matches played, 8 goals in the Champions League. Going to the French League, the French Cup, 5 matches, 8 goals. Trophy des Champions, he has played 1 match and 1 goal. Kylian Mbappe has put in the numbers. I will not lie, there is no season that guy is not impressive. A lot of people came for Kylian Mbappe in the first leg against Barcelona and was like, oh, he didn't play too well. What is wrong with these people? Every footballer has bad games. Why are you making Kylian Mbappe look like he doesn't have a right to have a bad game? Oh, against Dortmund, he was not so impressive. What do you want him to do? Defend? He's a striker. He's an attacker. He's not a defender. Same issue I had when he came to Messi and Ronaldo. When they are not playing well, you instantly blame them. Since when did Messi and Ronaldo become defense or attack? Since when did Kylian Mbappe become defense or attack? They have defenders for that job. It is defenders' job to do their job. If they cannot do their job, what do you want Kylian Mbappe to do? But then the man has been putting up the numbers. Do I feel that this guy should be number 1 on the current Ballon d'Or list, even knowing that his team has not done well? Yes. Because he puts in the performance, he scores the goals. He scores the goals. I will not lie. And this guy going to Madrid next season is very scary because knowing how well this guy is good when it comes to moving his feet and scoring goals, adding him to the combination of Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo is going to be disastrous for even I, who is a Barca fan. I'm already afraid. I'm afraid that the first leg of the Clásico may end up 4-2 or 5-2. We may score, but there's no way we are winning that match. There is no way in hell we are winning that match because as it stands, forget it. Real Madrid will be unstoppable. I think Kylian Mbappe right now should be the forerunner and not Jude Bellingham for the Ballon d'Or. People may not agree. I don't expect you to agree. My opinion basically. But I feel Kylian Mbappe should be the forerunner when it comes to the Ballon d'Or and not Jude Bellingham because the second half of this season, Jude Bellingham has not, and I mean has not impressed. Excuse me. But then we move into another topic, which, yes, a lot of people have been talking about. PFA Young Player of the Year. The league is almost over. It's time we start discussing. Here are the candidates. We have Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, Alexander Isak, Kobe Mainoo, Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, and Destiny Udogie. Now, if you ask me, the most likely winner in this category is Cole Palmer. He has had an amazing season, 21 goals, basically helping Chelsea push up the ranks in the league. I think that Cole Palmer deserves this award. I won't take away anything from Phil Foden. He has been impressive. Phil Foden has scored a lot of goals, but I could make the same case for Cole Palmer. If it comes to creativity, both have been creative. If it comes to who has had more goals, Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer dominates him in the league. If it comes to who has had, what do they call it now? A more individually impressive season, Cole Palmer. So I would not put Phil Foden over Cole Palmer. I could make a case for Alexander Isak, who currently is, I think he's on 20 goals. He's been impressive this season, scoring goals back to back. Alexander Isak has carried Newcastle in games where they needed the goals, and he has been impressive. I could make a case for Alexander Isak. I would not make a case for Haaland because what the hell is Haaland doing in this category? Please, why is Haaland in this category? Please. Somebody explain to me why Haaland is in this category. Haaland shouldn't be in this category again. But then is there, I can't make a case for Saka this season. He's not been consistent. Destiny Udogie started well, but the season has begun to dwindle on him. Then we have William Saliba. If I'm not wrong, that guy has had 4 man of the matches performance against big teams. He's been one of the most impressive defenders this season. I could make a case for William Saliba. Yes, I could make a case for William Saliba. He's been impressive this season. One of the best defensively this season. I could make a case for William Saliba. I think that this particular award would be between William Saliba and Cole Palmer. But then votes go out to the fans, and I feel the fans would go for Cole Palmer over William Saliba. But I don't think Phil Foden is in that debate. And then lastly, we go to the Premier League Player of the Season. We have Virgil van Dijk. I don't know what Virgil van Dijk is doing there. His season was cast. Let's be honest. Virgil van Dijk should not be in this league. We have Alexander Isak. Makes sense. Erling Haaland. Martin Odegaard. Oli Watkins. Cole Palmer. Declan Rice, Phil Foden. A lot of people have been talking about how Phil Foden deserves the award. Phil Foden has been an outstanding player. I could make the same case for Odegaard. And I'll tell you why I can make the same case for Odegaard. Since for the past 2 seasons, Odegaard has been consistent as a playmaker for Arsenal. He has helped that team secure a second position. He has been an amazing player for them in the league and both in the Champions League. And this season, he will still putting up assists, creations, and goals. Yes, he's not the highest goal scorer. I don't expect him to be the highest goal scorer. He's a midfielder. I'm not saying that midfielders don't score goals, but not as much as a winger would. But then you have to look at the creative part of Martin Odegaard. That guy has been consistent. How the hell nobody is talking about Martin Odegaard is still mind-blowing to me. This boy puts in numbers game after game, giving assists, creating chances. How is Kopama not, how is Odegaard not in this conversation? Okay, we are out of Odegaard. We move into the next person who I feel I can still make a case for. Oli Watkins. Aston Villa, currently seated 4th on the table, has had a phenomenal season. Oli Watkins, having 20 goals so far, has been, I think it's 19, has been outstanding. Oli Watkins has been outstanding. I can make a case for Oli Watkins and say this guy also deserves the player of the year. And then we have Erling Haaland, who I will not lie, it wouldn't still be wrong to give him a second one. He may not have had the most impressive season, as most people would say, but he still got the important goals for Man City. He got the important goals, so yes, I can say Erling Haaland is still part of that debate. Cole Palmer, one of the likeliest candidates. He and Phil Foden top this week, but I can make a case again for Declan Rice. Why can I make a case for Declan Rice? West Ham, the most unlikeliest of things, won the Europa Conference League with Declan Rice as their captain, ending up going to Arsenal, being bought for 100 million, and this guy is pursuing a league title, scoring important goals for Arsenal. Remember the 2-2 game against Chelsea? He got a goal there. Their game last week, I can't seem to remember the name of the team they played last week. He got a very important goal for them. Declan Rice has been one of Arsenal's most solid players this season, aside from Odegaard and Trossard, because I cannot take away anything from Trossard. Trossard has been amazing this season. Amazing. So I can make a case for Declan Rice and say he also deserves this award. This should be wide open. Fans should not be sentimental when it comes to this debate. Every single player on this list, at least 5 out of the 8 players on this list, 5 out of the 8, they can make a case for these players and say each of these players deserve the award. But then only time will tell. I am not in charge. Fans are in charge. We can only see what will happen. But it's been a great week of football. I will not lie. I enjoyed every week. Liverpool is playing tonight. I would love to see how Liverpool plays. They better not mess this up for Klopp.